Okay. Oh, happy Monday. We're back today on April Fool's Day, April 1st, and I'm very happy to announce that we have Mr. PT from PT's Showbiz Top 5. I know he has the T on a lot of celebrities, and we're going to start the show with some information on that. I'm pretty hello, PT out there in Texas.
What's going on, New York? What's going on?
And unfortunately, I mean, you were here in New York, but we didn't have a chance for you to stop by the studio. But next time,
I had a chance to stop by. I just, you know what? My mind was racing. I had so much going on. I just completely forgot to say, hey, I need to call you.
I know you're a busy guy. Busy, I know.
I had nothing to do Monday night, so I could have came by the studio. Where are you guys, in Brooklyn?
No, we're based in Manhattan. Yeah.
Oh, my
Manhattan.
God.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
yep.
Oh, my
right
God.
there, coming at you live, folks. This is a Jazzy Joy Keeping It Real show. I'm here in the studio with Jade, the engineer, but all the way from North Carolina via telephone, Mr. T Mac.
Yeah, I hope today being April Fool's is not indicative of anything. But
well, you know, it's April Fool's. You never know what might happen.
I've been called many things by many people. So, I hope this is not one. I hope this is not a day in honor of me. But anyway, how's everybody doing out there in Radio Land? And we're glad to be here with you tonight on this glorious day.
Yes.
And sorry we're having technical difficulties with the phone. I don't know. Yeah, we wanted to have call-ins, but I think that the phone is not working properly, so we apologize about that. But anyway, you know, things happen. Let's get started. PT,
yeah,
let's hear it.
Well, first of all, you know, I cannot start out by saying, you know, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Yes.
It's such a horrible, tragic, just horrible. I mean, you know, listen, this guy was trying to give back. You know, he lived a life before he got into where he is now. Hold on, guys. I got to charge up my phone, and this is not an April Fool's joke, so I don't want to lose you guys. So I got to run and start. I got to run and start the Starbucks. So hold on 1 second.
All right.
Yeah, so,
all right.
You know,
do what you got to do.
Yeah. You know, it's just an unfortunate thing that this happened, and you know, it's just really, really bad. It's like, you know.
Yeah, it's just really. I mean, it's such a tragedy. When I heard it, I don't have words. I mean. Yeah.
So we gotta stop blaming Trump and blaming the white man, and when we killing, you know, they're killing each other. You're killing each other. You know what I mean?
Right,
you know, it has to stop. It has to stop. It really does. And this guy was about to meet with the police and everything today to talk about gang violence and stuff like that. They were saying that he wasn't caught up in anything at this present time, even though he had affiliation with gangs in the past.
Right.
He didn't have anything going on. So that's an unfortunate thing. I tell you, it's really crazy. He left behind 2 kids, you know, 2 babies, 2 kids and his wife. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, so, but anyway, when I was in New York, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just heard, I don't know if you've heard anything about this and what you think about it, but I heard that because he was going to come out with a documentary about Dr. Sebi and how he can cure AIDS and other diseases. And some people tried to say that's why, because the pharmaceutical corporations don't want, I don't know. It's just...
Well, I heard about that too, but we'll find out once they find the killer. I think they found the shooter. I think they found him.
Really?
Last I checked, yeah.
Well, may he rest in peace.
There's a few conspiracy theories out there. There's one about that this is orchestrated by the government in order to be able to create havoc in the community so they can bring the National Guard in. Right? That's one theory that I heard on Messenger. So there's all kinds of things.
There's all kinds of theories. As PT said, I guess we might know a little bit more once they apprehend the shooter.
Yeah, because the shooting, they did have the shooting on camera, so that's a good thing. Listen, you can't do anything these days without being on camera. Cameras are everywhere.
That's right. Sometimes I got to go to the bathroom. I'm afraid to hop out my car. Somebody else catch me and give me a ticket.
Right, right. Okay, so...
I was in New York, and of course, I was in New York inside the Wendy Studios the day that she announced that, she was living in a sober house. And I was with Lou Nell at the time. Shout out to Lou Nell. Hopefully she's listening. And
I hope.
she might be, yeah. And so, the thing is, she told us that Wendy had already told her this while she was sitting on the stage. So if you go back and watch the video on YouTube, when Wendy, right before they go to commercial break, she whispered into her ear, and she had already told us. Of course, Lunel didn't tell us. She just told us she had something that we would just be floored if we knew. Because, Lunel and her are they're really close.
Really? I didn't know that.
They're really close. And, she helped Lunel with her little comedy stuff. Lunel helped her with her comedy stuff and stuff, she went on tour. But but she ended up telling everybody anyway. When she told Lunel, she ended up telling everybody. And we were sitting in the dressing room, like, my mouth just dropped wide open. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it.
Wow.
But, they keep saying that there's a baby, but I'm waiting to see the baby. I ain't seen the baby yet.
Yeah, they said there was a baby.
And
that's
a
one
lot of
big
people,
mess.
A lot of people are saying that that Wendy, she's going on hiatus because of the incident that happened, but that's not true. She actually announced this. She announced this before. They do this every year. They go on like this little spring break thing that they do. But this was already this was already in the works and stuff. But it seems to me that unless she's playing it off real good, you can't tell by just looking on TV that if she is going through something, you'll never know it. Yep.
Yeah. So you really don't think you can tell?
Say it again.
You really can't tell by looking at her?
Nah.
No.
And I was in the studio. I was actually in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So she if she did, she's pulling it off,
Right.
She's pulling it off. So.
Well, I know she's that. They say that the whole in relation to the this sober house that she was missing for a day or two. All right. And they found her somewhere kind of juiced up. All right.
That wasn't true. That wasn't true. Nah.
No, that wasn't true?
Nope. It was a made-up story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the sober house is true, though, right?
The sober house is true, yeah. The sober house is true, yeah. Yep, the sober house is true, yeah. That's true. So we just, I've never gone down that road before, and I know people who are going down that road right now. All we can do is hope for the best for them, because that's a hard pill to swallow. But like I tell everybody, you have a choice. You can either do it or you don't.
But I mean, I think there's something that it just seems strange to me that in the light of all these rumors about the baby and Kevin and all this, right? That she is in a sober house. It seems to have something to do. There seems to be some relativity there.
The only reason why she announced that she was in the sober house because people had found out, and she didn't have a choice. She didn't have a choice. She had to say something. They found out. Again, these days cameras are everywhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they call her.
And then I think the question is, in my mind anyway, what precipitated her having to go there?
Well, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, she back on cocaine," but even though we don't know what it is, she never said what it was. She just said she needed to get some help. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Let's talk about this. Speaking of Wendy, this is breaking news. What I'm reading in the blogs is saying that they're considering on separating. So it could be some truth to that. I mean, that's all over the blogs. That is considered. They considered on on separating. So, well, I know she's getting ready to have the biggest fan contest again. I'm going out for it, so hopefully y'all see me there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's see what else. Because you said you only had me on here like 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, like between 15 and 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. One other thing is breaking news. For those who did not know, I did finally, meet 10,000 subscribers. I finally reached that goal.
All right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, it's 10,100 or something like that now. So I'm excited. I'm really happy.
Yeah, you should be. You reached 10,000.
If you don't know anything about, if you don't know anything about YouTube, sometimes it can be very, very stressful, because like you putting out these videos. Well, I put out these videos day after day after day, and it seems like your numbers ain't going nowhere. You're just doing everything you can. It just seems like it's just but it finally just.
I know it can be frustrating, but I knew you were going to do it.
You get that one. You get that one particular one that catches, and kind of like it gets people's attention. You can have one or two really, really sensational ones that catch people's attention, and then they want to see the rest. They want to continue to see the rest. So I think it's indicative of your popularity rising, and people are respecting your craft, right? So that's a good thing.
Well, you're not going to believe who is what politician is behind Jesse Smollett.
A politician?
Maxine Waters.
Who?
Maxine Waters.
Really? Wow.
She's of course, everybody knows she's California. She's a California Democrat. Yeah, she's U.S. Representative Maxine Waters. She was honored over the weekend. They had the NAACP award. And of course, Jesse Smollett didn't show up. I think it's better.
Right.
But I guess some people still support him. Some people don't. I don't. I think that. I think he just got away with a big lie, and it's just horrible. And people are saying, "Oh, he's gonna mess up his career." Now, my opinion, Jesse didn't really have no career. He was just on Empire. What else has he done besides Empire? Nothing.
I mean, doesn't he sing or something? I don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like Jesse singing like that. It's not like he had some big career and was selling albums and stuff like that. I mean, come on.
Right.
But anyway. Yeah.
But I mean, let me see if I heard this right. That Maxine Waters was behind that thing. I mean that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
But I would like to know more about that.
Yeah. Well, it's all over the internet.
Wow. I don't know how I missed that one.
She said the charges should be dropped.
It seems very odd to me that if you're going to drop the charges, you don't offer a plea bargain. You drop the charges, but you still have to forfeit the bail. There's so many discrepancies around this whole thing. And then you got to do community service. Well, you got to do community service and and forfeit the bail if the charges are dropped.
Right.
It's true.
So yeah,
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
What she was saying was that we will probably never know all the details, but she was saying that we've heard a lot of information. No one was hurt, no one was physically killed or shot, killed or shot, and he never committed a crime before. Is what she's saying. So, and he forfeited the bail. And with this type of situation, she believes that it's a closed case. And she said it's unusual, but hey, charges were dropped.
Very unusual.
Trump ass trying to get involved. He need to get his ass somewhere to sit down.
yeah, he does, sure does.
Right.
If anybody got away with any crimes, he is. So
okay.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, Lunell gave me some really, really some news I never heard about when I was in New York. She told me that the what is that big park there in New York? That land was owned by a lot of black people, and they took the land of the park.
Central Park.
Yeah, I was shocked to know that. Well, not shocked, but
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, they said that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was like a black community there in Central Park. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you know that, co-host?
Yeah.
I've heard that there was a burial ground there. There was they found the evidence of a whole community. Like when they were doing the excavation for the park, I believe. Yeah, it was covered up for years, but then it came out.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Man, that's great.
In this country, there's probably a lot of there were thriving black communities like Weeksville in Brooklyn.
That's a very interesting museum. If anyone can go, I mean, it's not actually a museum. The Weeksville in Brooklyn. I mean, they actually have the old homes and the houses there. It's very interesting.
And they do have a building that is that they have that serves as a kind of a museum.
Yeah,
you can go in and see artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, and you're from Texas, right, CT?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of rich history in Texas.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. My last name is McKinney, right? And McKinney there's a town called McKinney, Texas.
It sure is.
And my name is McKinney, by the way, too.
Yeah, both of our names are McKinney. Come to think of it, we're not related, I guess. But
we don't know.
I don't know of any black Irish. So, and McKinney is definitely an Irish name. So I guess that was the slave master's name from that. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that was the origin of that name for black people. Was McKinney, Texas. There's a plantation or something in McKinney, Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, McKinney, Texas, it's right outside of Dallas. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I've never been to Texas. I have to visit Texas one day.
Yeah.
I've been to Oklahoma, which is near and similar, but not exactly the same.
Right,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got any more PT, or?
Yeah, I want to talk about this situation with Cardi B.
Oh, yeah.
She's now saying that she was. Yeah, she's now saying that she was joking.
Now she was joking. Mm-hmm.
The Cardi B's accuser admits that he was joking about him being
they
wrong.
accuse her.
But she said it. What does that mean? Did I win something?
You are the winner of $1 million.
Yay.
Well, April Fools. No, that's the doorbell. Sorry about that, folks.
Okay.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Jazzy Joy Keeping It Real show here at City World Radio. And we're very happy to have PT of PT's Showbiz Top 5, right? And did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. From Texas. And that's it. We're discussing some celebrity. You call, I forgot, you are an entertainer reporter, right? That's what
I do it all. I do news and gossip, but mostly gossip.
Okay. You have to have your show. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, on TV or somewhere,
Listen,
but
listen.
other than just to YouTube.
Yeah, but listen. I mean, YouTube is great. I mean, you know, you be surprised the things that happen because of YouTube.
Really?
I met you guys. I met you guys because of YouTube.
Right, absolutely.
I met Miguel because of YouTube. I met a lot of people because of YouTube. I got my first booking as PT Showbiz Top 5 in a town called, it's somewhere, it's someone, let me think of the name of the town. It's in, oh my God, PT, I always forget the name of this town, but it's in Missouri, Kansas, somewhere by Kansas City. And the guy he actually is a police officer, and he watches my show, and him and his people from his job, he's a live singer, Lamont. Shout out to Lamont if he's listening. And he actually booked me there at his club to just come and hang out and talk about celebrities, and the audience was 90% white, country, redneck, But I had a great time. They paid for everything. They paid for my flight, my hotel. So, you'd be surprised. YouTube is
I know. I'm not knocking YouTube. I know. I know. And we have a YouTube channel, as a matter of fact, but we have to start actually putting stuff on there. We're not active. We have a channel, but nothing is on there. A couple of videos, but it's a lot of work, though.
Well, what you do is once you put your content up, you just let it go. Just be yourself. You really don't have to edit it. When you first start out, I don't think they let you do long videos. But the more videos you do, and and I can promote you guys. I promote a lot of people. I'm not a hater. If you start your YouTube channel, I'll tell my subscribers, go check out, the Joy,
Jazzy Joy. Yeah, well,
Jazzy
I'll let you know when we're up and running. And really, doing things, and then perhaps, some of your followers might want to check us out, and that would be great.
No, they will. But back to Cardi B, these celebrities, when you get to a certain status, you have to be careful what you say and what you put out on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I think a lot of these celebrities need to have somebody controlling their Twitters and their Instagrams, because you could just say anything like, "Oh, when I was, out there stripping, I put drugs in somebody." Because if you really did this, and
but didn't she say that before? I mean, wasn't that video? Was the video made before or after she made it big?
I'm not sure,
because
but it came back to haunt her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of the things, because you don't realize you're going to make it, and then when they start digging up all these things from your past, and it comes back to haunt you. Unfortunately, I mean, you just have to be careful if you have aspirations, because if you do happen to make it out there, people are going to dig these things up. But they have to be also, as you said, if it was something more recently, then you have to be more responsible for what you say.
Right.
Because it'll come back to bite you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, so...
What actually did she say? I'm not familiar with Cardi B.
She said that, it's alleged that she said that she used to drug men to get money from them and rob them and stuff when she was a dancer. So she was basically full of Bill Cosby.
Right.
Yeah. Female Bill Cosby.
And she got a lot. I mean, she's receiving a lot of backlash for that statement. People are saying they should investigate. But one guy came out and said that he was a victim, but that he said that it was a joke. Now he's saying it was a joke.
Well,
maybe they got to him and paid him off or said whatever.
No.
Cardi B is from the street, so somebody might have got to him and yo, chill with that, or you're gonna have consequences.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So he came out and said it was a joke. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or either they could have told him, "Hey, we're gonna pay you a certain amount of money,
Right.
to say that you was just joking, because we want you to, chill out with that,
Yeah, they could have paid him off. Yeah, and then
just like our president does.
Yeah, because that's all you have to do is pay someone.
I say the president.
I mean, a few thousand for some people, a few $1,000 is like, hey, yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut, It doesn't even have to be that much. It could be $25,000. Oh, yeah. Because depending on who it is, that's a lot of money for some people.
I said, just like Wendy Williams' husband, he's starting to speak. He's starting to say stuff now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I know a little bit about his history. Doug Life for sure. Right? Out of Brooklyn, right? Brownsville. That's why I'm not surprised when I hear little things that he does. From what I've heard, now I don't know. I mean, from what it's alleged, right? I don't know for sure, but I've heard certain things. And I just say it's all alleged, but I say he's alleged to be a difficult kind of guy.
Right.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys something. I have a very good friend of mine in New York, and I know this is going on mostly in New York. I think it may be going on in other places too. He is a entertainer. He drag queen, however you want to call it. He's not transgender, but he's a drag queen. And there's a lot of drag queens that seems to be reading for kids at these libraries.
They came in Jackson Heights, Queens. Actually, where I work, that library. There's a library in they had a reading with drag queens. Reading stories. To children.
So are these LGBT? Are these gay families that they're reading to, or just anyone?
No, anyone who was open to having their kids try to understand that. We have to. There are all different types of lifestyles and. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, it was all types of children. It wasn't just gay families. It was any family, any parent that was open to it.
Here's my issue. You don't ever know what a clown. Does up under all that makeup. Makeup and crazy hair and stuff that a clown or Santa Claus. You don't know what they do. So my thing is this. If you are, as long as you investigate that person and make sure that person has not got anything in their past, whether they be a Santa Claus, a clown, drag queen, or whatever, if their parents want to take their kids to see somebody read to them, because some parents ain't reading to the damn kids. Some parents ain't stepping up and, whatever. To me, I don't, because the kids don't even think like we think. They just think, they probably think, it's just a clown.
I mean, because, you have to see some of them with the makeup and stuff, Yeah,
because we're calling it a drag queen. But the little kids that are 4, 5, or 6, they don't know what that is. They just think it's a clown.
Right.
Or they may think it's a woman. Right.
I mean, they probably were confused. I mean, because probably, they look like women, but they have male voices. I don't know. I don't know how that went down.
I've seen RuPaul's Drag Race, right? And I mean, there are drag queens on there that I would not even have known. So, I mean, I'm saying, if I was a kid seeing that, I wouldn't.
No, but I've seen I've seen one of them that was at the Jackson Heights Library, and I mean, you can see that it was not a woman. I mean, you knew it wasn't a woman.
Well, yeah, you can. An adult can. But what about a kid?
They don't know.
No, maybe not. But that's why I'm saying they probably were confused because they had, I don't know, the voices.
Well, here's my thing with that. If those parents are cool enough to let their kids come there, what difference is it to me or anybody else what they do with their kids? As long as their kids are not getting hurt and stuff like that, you know.
True.
They need to be concerned about leaving their kids with their uncles and their aunties and stuff. The ones that.
Right. So what are you saying? There was some backlash about it, and
yeah.
Well, you know that.
And you think that it wasn't a bad thing? It was a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to my friend. His drag name is Harmonica Sunbeam. He lives there in New York. Shout out to Harmonica. I doubt if he's listening, but shout out to Harmonica. We're good friends. He actually has come to a lot of my shows before here in Texas. So shout out to Harmonica.
Yeah.
If Harmonica is listening. And really, he's really so funny. He was telling me how the people who was outside protesting, you know, he does like I do. He'll put it on and he'll take it off. So while they out there protesting, he didn't already took it off and he walks right through the crowd and they don't even know it's him.
Right, they don't even know it's him.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this day and age, I think we have to learn to embrace diversity in all its forms, and not have so much fear about difference, right? And I think that's the sad part about this country. Anything that's different or that people perceive as different, right? That it causes people get anxious about it, and because of whatever indoctrination they've had, what they were told about this is wrong and what's right, and there's so much stuff going on.
I think that was a good thing that they did, and a lot of it is because one of the I don't know if he's councilman or whatever. He's actually openly gay, so. I probably one of the council men here. I mean that.
The city council member. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, openly gay. So probably he was responsible for having that.
Right.
Yeah.
After coming from New York, I don't think there's any straight people in it. I shouldn't say that, but I know it is.
Well, I moved to North Carolina. So,
the last straight one.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know how much time I have, but I need to talk about this.
Well, I mean, it's over 15, 20 minutes, but this is PT, okay, so you got it.
Okay, this will be the last thing I want to talk about. This is not about celebrity, but it is about our safety. When you guys call a Lyft or an Uber, make sure you get into the right cab. Make sure you get into the right Uber.
I heard that story. And then why did it have to be a black man? I mean...
Yeah, yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about that, but I'm saying then I look at all the perversions that have happened, with white men, and they don't make an issue out of the color when it's a white man.
But you know how it is. As soon as they hear that it was a white man and a black man and a white woman, I mean, it just how that's going to go.
It's more about him being a deranged man than
right.
You have bad people in all races, and I'm willing to go on record about that. You have bad people in all races. So.
But you gotta really be careful that you're stepping in. I mean, you know what it is. They had a night out, and I mean, you're not always super alert. Probably was drinking involved. Yeah, and she just thought that was the Uber. But you really have to pay attention.
Well, what have you heard about it, PT? What have you heard about it?
Well, that's basically it. She probably had been having a few drinks, and she was probably coming from a bar and just being carefree, and she just got into the wrong car.
And he killed her. He raped her and killed her.
Raped and killed her. That's horrible. That is horrible.
Terrible.
Well, speaking of killing, I'll say this, and this will be the last thing. I don't know if I told you guys, I had a very good friend of mine. He was murdered about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they found the killers, and again, here we go with
great.
this. 2 young boys, 17 years old.
Really?
17 years old. Like, come on, man. This, we got to stop this.
And what was the motive?
Robbery.
Oh, man.
I knew they were young because nobody. And I'm not saying that nobody's over 25 that won't do this or 30 that won't do this. But when they said 17 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I said they got to. I was not. They didn't say it's their age, but when I found out it was 3 in the afternoon, I said they must be some little young boys, just young stupid boys. Yep.
I think that's why you have to be very mindful of your surroundings. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think about that all the time when I'm getting in and out of the car, or in shopping malls or parking lots. I look around to see who may be lurking. Right.
So, yeah, because you never know. So anyway, I just
we really appreciate you gracing us with your insights. Sure. I think that as always,
information, right? Spilling the tea.
The first week, I will be in New York the first weekend in August. So I don't go back home until Tuesday, so that Monday night I can come hang out with you guys.
Oh, we would love that.
Okay,
absolutely.
Yeah. I might be in New York in August myself. So
yeah, it's the first weekend in August. Yeah,
first weekend in August.
The beginning of August. But I'll be there at the end of August, going into September. So I'll be there. Sure.
All right. So absolutely. Drop by. We're gonna keep that in mind, and of course you're gonna be on the show again. I hope you'll be available between now and then, because we gotta have someone to spill the tea here. Okay, on these celebrities.
And shout out to all the PT punchers that you watch listening. All the people who watch me on my YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody.
So if you want to just give any information before you
Sure,
leave.
If there's any program directors out there, I always say this. If there's any program directors out there that are looking for somebody to come and do some entertainment news, I am available. You can catch me on PT Showbiz Top 5 on YouTube, and my Gmail account is ptshowbiztop5@gmail.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm on the PT Showbiz Top 5, and of course my Instagram is the same. That's me.
All right, PT. Thank you so much, and we'll be keeping up with you. And again, we appreciate all your information and your availability. So thank you so much. And
thank you, and thanks for having me. Ken, how can people go back to listen to the show?
When they go to cityworldradio.com and go into archives. And then it's the Jazzy Joy Show.
How long does it take to download?
No, it doesn't take. I mean, you go right there, but you have to go by the date, right? And we named the show. This particular show is named. What do we name it? The African. Oh, we named this show. The African American Experience.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
So they just have to go to the Jazzy Joy and then the date, and it just takes a matter of minutes, and they're there.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm glad you guys let me be part of the radio show. I will talk with you guys soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Y'all take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
So, we were going to segue into what we were going to talk about. We don't have that much time left, but we do have some time to talk about the issues. Do you want to start, T-Mac, with your thoughts on about what's going on with this, I don't know, black on black crime and the issues that we have in the African American communities? T-Mac? Oh, no, he should be. T-Mac? I don't know. I don't know how we lost him. Yeah, what happened?
Oh, I think I might have hit the mute button. My bad.
Oh, you hit the mute button. Oh, okay.
I was fondling my phone. So I hit the mute button.
Well, I'll just be mindful that we're live, okay?
Of course.
Yes, we're coming at you live, folks. The Jazzy Joy, Keeping It Real show here at City World Radio.
That's just what I was doing, keeping it real.
So, that was very interesting, as always. PT of PT's top 5, a showbiz top 5. So very good. It went over a little bit longer, but he's always very interesting. So I didn't want to just cut him off.
So are we going to talk about some? Are we going to go into this?
Yeah, I was talking to you, but I don't know if you heard.
No, I'm saying I hit the mute button, so therefore I wasn't. You weren't hearing me, but I was hearing you.
Yeah. So you
I was
heard.
Responding, but you didn't hear.
Okay. So,
right, so I think that we what we need I think to understand is that the essence of what African American survival is about, and we can probably continue it on another show. But I think just to plant the seed, it's about the things that impact our relevancy, our survival in this society.
Right.
You know, we do have to understand that the origins of this society, and as related to the American or United States, was perpetuated and precipitated and perpetuated for the benefit of a different culture. All right, all the financial underpinnings and survival strategies were not designed to facilitate our progress, our success. Now, we have made certain inroads, in terms of getting into the economic reality, but there's still this whole thing about assimilation and integration which is one-sided. Right? It's about us giving up our culture, giving up our identity, so that we could facilitate and the cultural values and norms of a dominant culture.
Right.
It's inherent in the education. It's inherent in the mores, the cultural norms that propel the society. So I think that, and this is, it would be it's an extended conversation. So I don't, we can't really get into the depth of it now. But I think that as a indication of what we want to talk about on another show, I think we need to begin to think about what our relevancy is and how that's being either diminished, right, or how that's being impacted in a way that is dangerous to our existence, right? I mean, if we evolve completely into a different cultural norm, what is our cultural reality? With our names, our identities, our way of dress, our fashion has all been compromised, right?
Right.
As I said earlier, my last name is McKinney, and that's not part of my culture.
Right.
But,
I just want to correct the name, because we said the African American experience is actually a discussion about the African American survival.
Right. I thought
and perpetuation. Okay. Yeah, we said, but I mean, it's the same, but more our survival is what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's about survival, right? Our survival, the perpetuation of our race, for that matter.
Right.
and how that is being impacted and diminished, and how, not to diminish the relevance of any other culture, of course not, but to understand what we need to do to provide a survival strategy for our culture as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has got to do with our mental framework, our self-perception, things that we're taught, things that are so demoralizing in terms of us looking at ourselves in certain ways, and that's I guess that's articulated in a lot of the ways, the things that we do, the way we talk, the way we dress, our styles, the things that we endeavor to emulate a dominant culture that is not accepting or willing to provide the same opportunities and situations that is germane to them.
And I want to get into I was saying, like, we're going to talk about it, but of course we don't have time to do it this evening. But it's about our self-esteem, because a lot of I don't recall his name right now, but I will have all that information when we further discuss this. But the gentleman was saying that a lot of African Americans have high self-esteem, but one of the big problems is we have high self-esteem, personal, but low group self-esteem. So it's like we don't really like ourselves as a people. So we don't like each other. In other words, that's why it's so easy. So in the case of what's his name, Nipsey Hussle, in the case if he were in fact, if that was like gang related or another black guy killed him for whatever beef, it's because we don't give much credence, or we don't really think very much of our own people. So it's very easy to just kill them because we don't care.
Well, that's part of the indoctrination. That's part of the self-esteem, the diminished self-esteem.
But the funny thing about it is he said that a lot of us have high self-esteem of ourselves. But when it comes to us as a group, we don't.
That seems a little contradictory to me. I mean, if we have high self-esteem and feel good about ourselves and who we are, right, why then would we not value our existence?
But you can have personal. I guess what he was saying is you can have personal self-esteem. You feel good about yourself, but you don't feel good about your people. It doesn't mean that just because you feel good about yourself, you feel good about your people. You hate your people, but you like yourself. But
if you look at yourself, you are your people. How are you not your people?
But that's what I'm saying. It's very interesting. You have to listen to him, which I'm going to play it. When we further discuss it, is that how you can actually feel good about, because we've never heard that concept before. We always felt because you have low self-esteem and you don't think very highly of yourself. He's saying no. He was saying most African Americans think very highly of themselves.
Well, I don't know how he makes that determination of. How he makes that determination about most?
Yeah, he used the word most, like I always do. But yeah, he used the word most. That you find that they feel okay about themselves. They don't really have any problem with themselves, but they have a problem. But they have a problem with their own people. The way they look at their own people, but they don't look at themselves.
But the way it seems that looking at your own people through the eyes of of the definition of your people, how do you separate yourself ultimately from that? I mean,
Well,
you know,
a lot of people do.
If I'm black, I'm black. I'm looking at black people a certain way, and then ultimately I have to come to the realization that I am black.
Yeah, but you know,
So
but that, I mean, you see it all the time. A lot of people don't consider themselves. They know that they're black, but they don't consider themselves like the others. You know, they feel like they're a little bit different.
So that and I think that's part of this whole need for assimilation and being like the dominant culture,
Exactly.
so that you know, being like the dominant culture that makes you feel better than others.
You start not liking yourself. So I mean, this is something that even if we had given PT the only 15 minutes, we still wouldn't be able to discuss this. So we would need more time. But absolutely,
I think
we're going to further.
This is a prelude to, I think, what we can talk about on another show, and I think very, very soon.
But we
maybe
have to talk about that. Like how is it that you could feel good about yourself but not your own people? Yeah.
Right. I think there's a whole realm of situations that are encompassed by that whole mindset. And I think that we need to, you know, kind of really get into it. Right.
So we got 1 minute to go. I just want to say, check us out on Instagram. We've made some changes. It's going to be a lot more interesting, and you're going to see more posts. And if you checked it out today, you would see some of the changes. So thank you for following us and tuning in to the Jazzy Joy Keeping It Real show here at City World Radio. And, so stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of exciting things coming up and changes that are really great. We're getting more and more, social media savvy. So it's going to be great. So thank you for tuning in. And on that note, T-Mac, we're out.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Talk to you later, Jazzy.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye. Peace.
Impaired, one national organization is taking the lead. The Guide Dog Foundation breeds and trains Labradors and Golden Retrievers to help blind and visually impaired people increase their mobility and independence. The foundation provides transportation to its New York campus, the Guide Dog, a comprehensive training program, and a lifetime of aftercare services, all free.